We are starting our 18th weekend. We still have 2 more weekends to go. And today is our 35th class in quantum psychotherapy. And our topic today is quantum coherence in quantum psychotherapy, the secret language of the body cells. So as a therapist who has been on this course, you may intend to incorporate energy healing and quantum psychotherapy into your current counseling practice. When it comes to self-care and maintaining a quantum-informed practice, we have to understand that the direction of the session stems from the quantum coherence of your own cells as a quantum psychotherapist. And quantum psychotherapy suggests that healing occurs by restoring quantum coherence, where your body cells act as a unified field of light, enabling instantaneous, efficient communication. Listen to your cells right now. And through this lens, any trauma acts as noise that disrupts cellular's secret language, and therapy functions by retuning aura frequencies to align with the harmonious, orderly state of the 0-point field. Remember from our previous classes, we understood that our aura is a store of every word, every thought, every emotion and trauma. And it can also erase all that negativity within it. So amidst all the negative information stored therein, our aura also houses the 0-point field that remains unscathed by the negative information within our aura. So with the 0-point field, we take command of our aura. And the 0-point field is part of the quantum field within our aura. And this is a fascinating way to look at the intersection of energy, healing, and quantum physics, viewing the 0-point field as an untainted reset button within the aura suggests that no matter how much trauma is stored there, there is always a core state of equilibrium available for healing. And by tapping into that 0-point field, you as a quantum psychotherapist, you are essentially accessing a space of infinite potential where negative patterns haven't yet taken shape. So let's explore the intersection of quantum physics and cellular biology within the therapeutic space, focusing on how quantum coherence acts as a communication bridge between the mind and the body's cellular network. Quantum coherence in quantum psychotherapy is the secret language of the body cells. And quantum coherence is the mechanism by which the unscathed potential of the 0-point field is translated into physical healing. So by understanding this secret language of light and vibration, Quantum psychotherapy moves beyond the talk therapy into a realm of biological resonance, allowing the body to erase negative imprints and return to its natural state of unified harmony. In the traditional view of biology, cells communicate through slow, lock, and key chemical signals or electrical impulses. Quantum psychotherapy has a much faster, more unified system at play, and this is quantum coherence. And this is a state where the trillions of cells in your human body behave not as isolated units, but as a single synchronized quantum choir singing the same song at the same time. So your aura as a quantum biofield, when we look at this from the quantum perspective, your aura is not just a spiritual concept. It is a highly organized biofield of information. And within this auric field, the 0-point field serves as a ground state of perfect stillness and infinite energy. This means that trauma, negative thoughts, and suppressed emotion act as a noise, act as dissonance that disrupts the coherence of this field. So when this noise reaches the cellular level, the cells lose their rhythmic synchronization, leading to physical and emotional dis-ease. So how do we maintain this secret language within ourselves? The secret language cells use to maintain this coherence is the emission of biophotons. And biophotons are ultra light particles. And research in quantum biology says that cells talk to one another through these light emissions. So in a healthy state, these biophoton emissions are highly ordered, coherent, allowing for instantaneous communication across the entire body. And quantum psychotherapy aims to restore this coherence. So by accessing the 0-point field through meditation and intention or entrainment, the therapist helps the client bypass the scrambled information of trauma to re-establish a clear light signal between their cells. And this is where instantaneous healing or a quantum jump or quantum tunneling happens. Our human body is a holographic record. And because of quantum entanglement, every cell in our body contains the information of the whole. Within each cell is the information of every other cell. So the trauma stored in the aura is simultaneously reflected in the quantum state of the body's cells. In therapy, When a client achieves a state of coherence, that quantum coherence, they aren't just thinking differently. They are physically reordering the vibration of their cellular structure. And the cells remember their original blueprint of coherence, that unscathed information held within their 0 point field, and they begin to entrain to that higher frequency. Listen to yourselves right now. And let them entrain to the language, to the state of that coherence that is already present in the template of the 0 point field that is never defiled. How does the silent language of the body connect to the client's healing within the therapeutic alliance between the psychotherapist and the client? The silent language of the body is the bridge between the story told and the story felt by the client. What the client is saying and what the client is feeling is bridged by the silent language of the cellular cells within each cell of the physical body. And this means that we have to integrate somatic awareness into the therapeutic alliance between us and the client, to shift from a top-down intellectual exercise to a bottom-up biological transformation. And healing happens when the body and mind are no longer speaking different languages, but are brought into a unified, witnessed harmony. Your body right now might be telling you that you have the HIV virus in your body. And the mind that has shifted might be telling you that alchemically you can command your consciousness so that you can live in your physical body, in a physical world, without experiencing those symptoms of having HIV in your body. And this has to correlate to the physical action you take in the physical body by taking your ARVs on the exact time. So when your body and mind are no longer speaking different languages, that's when healing occurs. And somatic awareness is that ability to consciously perceive and interpret and respond to the internal signals, those physical sensations that your body keeps sending you. So this silent dialogue, this somatic intelligence in the therapeutic alliance in the traditional talking cure words are often treated as the primary vehicle for change. However, beneath the surface of spoken narrative lies a profound silent language of the bodily cells. So for a client seeking healing, the physiological state often tells a more honest story than the intellectual one. So we have to understand how this silent language connects to the therapeutic alliance in not just an additive skill, but it is the foundation of deep neurological, biological healing, because the body is a living archive, and trauma and emotional distress aren't just stored as memories in the brain, they are etched into the nervous system, and they are stored as somatic memory in some place in our physical body. So when a client recounts a painful experience, their body replays the event through either a tightened chest or shallow breathing or restless limbs. And if a therapist only addresses the words, they miss that somatic subtext of the tightened chest, of the shallow breathing, of the restless limbs. And healing begins when the therapist acknowledges these non-verbal cues. And by noticing a client's clenched jaw or a sudden shift in posture, the therapist brings the silent language into the room. And this validation helps the client to move from a state of cognitive dissonance where they say they are fine, while their body is in a state of high alert, a state of somatic congruence. Let that sink in. The therapeutic alliance is built on more than rapport. It is built on interregulatory resonance. A therapist's calm, regulated nervous system can act as a container for a client's dysregulation. When you as a therapist remains grounded and attuned, the client's body receives cues of safety. And the jaw clenching will disarm. So this non-verbal cue exchange, that steady eye contact between you and the client, a soft tone of voice, and a relaxed physical presence signals to the client's primitive brain that the environment is safe to drop its defenses. And in this space of safety, the client can access the ventral vagal state, which is the only physiological state where true social engagement and emotional processing can occur. And the vagus nerve is the physical structure that communicates through sensation. It is the information superhighway from our body to the nervous system. That component of the parasympathetic nervous system for relaxing and repair mode. So our vagus nerve provides a constant bi-directional communication link between our heart, lungs, gut, and the brain. And the vagus nerve dysregulation disrupts the silent language of the cells, shifting them from a state of growth and healing into a defensive posture, that cell danger response. So the vagus nerve that is compromised makes this vital bi-directional communication between the brain and the vital organs, the individual cells. It makes that communication to falter, causing systemic noise that drowns out the body's internal signal for balance. And cells end up entering a survival mode, and cells end up prioritizing defense over metabolic functions. And the coherence between and within the cells is lost, and decoherence takes its place. And our central nervous system gets out of the parasympathetic rest and repair into the sympathetic nervous stress response of flee, fight, or flees. And this leads to the dysregulation of the vagus nerve, leaving the nervous system stuck in a state of chronic stress or chronic shutdown. This is frequently driven by a combination of our lifestyle, psychological and physiological factors. So to move the vagus nerve out of dysregulation, we have to provide the nervous system with cues of safety, that override the survival signals of fight, flight, or freeze. And these shifts are achieved through somatic, body-based practices that stimulate the vagus nerve. And these practices, strength training for your nervous system, teach the nervous system to pivot quickly from stress back to a state of calm and social engagement. And the quickest way to tone the vagus nerve is to extend your exhale longer than your inhale. You can breathe into the count of 3, and you breathe out through the mouth to the count of 6. So when the exhale is longer, it physically signals the vagus nerve to slow the heart rate. And this provides the vagal break breath. So another exercise we can do is the physiological sigh, where you take in a deep breath, followed by a second sharp, short sip of air, at the very top. Then let out a long, slow shh sigh through the mouth. So you can breathe in, then breathe in, then and then shh. Another kind of breathing is the box breathing, where you breathe in to the count of 4, hold the breath to the count of 4, breathe out the count of 4, and before the next inhale, hold to the count of 4. And we can also physically reset our vagus nerve by rubbing our cheeks or by rubbing our hands or by rubbing from the shoulder to the elbow. You can do it for one side, and then you can do it for the other as well. When we do that, we are creating attunement, and the alliance is strengthened by your ability as the therapist to feel into the client's experience. And when you tune into the client's experience, you are creating a third language. And this third language can go like this. You can tell the client, I noticed your hand tightened when we spoke about your father. And this demonstrates a level of presence going beyond active listening. And it tells the client that I see all of you, even when the parts of you cannot yet be put into words. And this witnessing level is inherently healing, and it repairs any misattunement. And in the therapeutic container, the body is finally heard, allowing the clients to transition from surviving in their body to living in their body. So the final question is, what insight are you getting about your own somatic awareness, molded by the client to heal their own body? Have a blissful evening. Namaste.